one, I just wanted to do a little channel update to let you know what I've been up to, what's coming, what's going through my mind. And I really want to hear your opinions as well to what's coming up for you at the moment. It is a glorious spring day at the moment. My office has been rearranged because I've been introducing my guinea pigs to each other, which is such an amazing thing to witness. If you want to see more about that, please go and have a look at my Instagram account. All the links are always below. So I've been planting vegetables, I've been planning the garden. I've also signed up to the Zach Bush Farmer's Footprint, what's it called? The Garden Club. So I'm starting that tonight because I'm really all about at the moment what is really, really important. It's so easy to get distracted. And I'm really determined this year. I've got lucky enough to have a lovely garden. I'm determined that everything we grow in the garden consciously is going to either be a food source for us humans, our animals that we're responsible for, or the wildlife. So I'm learning as much as I can at the moment. It's not too late for anyone who wants to go along to the Zach Bush Farmer's Footprint and join the gardening club, because what a great skill and little community to join. So I will put the link to that below as well if anyone wants to join. I love this time of year. It's really, really beautiful. All the animals are having their babies, not mine, but the wild ones. You know, the plants, all the herbs are sprouting out everywhere. It's a real time of abundance. I know it's different for everyone depending where they live. But here in the UK, it's a beautiful, beautiful time of year. I won't tell you what my naughty Idris has been up to, but suffice to say he's been catching his own food. No nasty comments. That's nature. That's the universe we live in at the moment. And at least it's better than feeding him something that's been produced in factory farming. And we all know how horrific the pet food industry is. So what's been coming up for me? I've had some really wonderful chats. I know everyone's really bombarded, but I think I would particularly draw your attention to my recent interviews with Dr. Christiane Northrup, where we looked at narcissism, we looked at energy vampires, etc., because you can apply that on so many different levels to your life and learn lessons for it. So that's in my video playlist below. Take a look at that if you haven't. I would also really love you to have a look at the one by Emily Castrotta, the Animal Empath. I am doing a follow-up with her this week. Now, everyone knows I'm so passionate about what animals have to teach us. And what keeps coming up for me personally, time and time again, is that I think we're getting it all wrong. You know, we talk about tuning into our intuition, we talk about connection, and yet the next breath, we're just talking about humanity. But this beautiful planet has lots more than just us humans on it. Now, us humans quite often do the best we can to actually wipe out everything else on it, but the people watching this channel don't fit into that category. And I think that all the while we're categorizing everything about what's best for humanity, we're missing out the most fundamental part of connecting with all things around us, with every living thing, whether it's the soil, whether it's the plants, whether it's the wildlife. You know, we are really part of that bigger picture. And when we start making decisions that's really great for all beings, great and small, then I really think there's going to be a shift in consciousness. So I'd love to know what you think about that. But I think, you know, when we talk about making decisions where we're really understanding the impact of all things in nature and how important that connection is, you know, when it comes down to the crunch, all living beings need food, water, and shelter, and then the ability to reproduce. Well, we can't have shelter if we've got no forest left. You know, you can't go and shelter, a wild animal can't go and find shelter if the humans have cut down all the trees. We can't get water if we've polluted all the water. We can't get good food if we've poisoned all the soil and the air and the rain coming into it. So I think when we stop talking about humanity and start talking about all creatures, great and small, I think everything will start clicking into place a lot quicker. I've been really, really fascinated over the last 6 months about the 7 Hermetic principles, and look them up if you're not familiar with those. Let me know what you think. But the 7 laws of sort of, well, I won't go into it now because that's a whole different video in itself. But I think these things, so much we can get brilliant explanations from the real thought leaders of our time. And I've been listening to some fantastic podcasts, but equally the principles come back to some really, really core things. And I am a very much strong believer that we all create our own reality, whatever you want to call it. Now, I know that we need better skills sometimes to actually really create what we are looking into. I think the whole concept of time and how that works and how we can influence the past, present, future. What is the past, present, future? So many fantastic conversations coming up on this. But I really think that when we get back to these core basics of one, connecting into ourselves, realizing that the world that we see, the emotions we feel are a direct relationship to what we are creating, manifesting, putting our attention on, whichever way you want to look at it, a combination of all of those. I'm really fascinated by looking at the connection between how much do we want to have these intellectual discussions, how much do we want to take on board what we think happened in our history, how much of our history was real, how much of our archaeology, how much of our anthropology, you name it. It's just fascinating. Look at the laws of physics. Some brilliant discussions going on. I've always thought the laws of physics are only applicable to our level of understanding. And of course, they're going to change. And of course, we're going to find out more as we go on. And sure enough, that's what's happening. And once you start opening up this sort of Pandora's box of this information coming in, it's amazing the synchronicities that start happening. So I really hope everyone's just having fun exploring what resonates for you. I just think it's really, really important that we really focus on some of the basics, because when you do get that right, put in the comments below who's starting to grow some of their own food. Doesn't matter whether you're living in a flat and you're sprouting your own seedlings. It doesn't matter whether you've got a few herbs on the windowsill or whether you're a really experienced gardener. Share your tips. Who is really conscious of the water that they're doing? It's interesting about us actually being aware of what's going on. I mean, I saw a report this weekend about how in America they are now with the messenger RNA jabs to the meat that's going, the animals, the poor animals that are going into the food supply chain. I mean, it's just wrong on every single level. So we've just got to be on our toes in one respect. Yes, I do think we need to be aware of what's going on, because if we don't know what the real challenges are, we can't make the right decisions. But once we've got that knowledge, we don't need to focus on spreading the fear. We need to say, what am I going to do about that? What part can I play and doing about it? Could you go along and speak to any local farmers? Could you join up with a community group that are going to do that? We've all got different skills. Let's share them and let's use them, and let's make sure that we put our money, our effort and time in terms of what we do want to create. So I love to hear what you're all up to, because all of us will have different passions at the moment, different interests, different priorities that we need to look into. It might be a bit of a ramble, but I hope that sort of makes sense to you. I never know whether it's going to make sense unless I listen back to what I've actually said. But I think, getting back to these principles, when we talk about intuition, connection, making decisions, let's look at really taking that connection to the next level. A lot of us understand about grounding, about the energy, about our chakra systems. But if we are just looking at it from a human perspective, then for me, we're fundamentally not going deep enough and not going to get the results we want. Let me know what you think about that. And let me know if there's any interesting people that would love to come on the podcast and discuss this, because I love hearing other people's perspectives. There are some hideous things happening. I mean, I saw on the headlines that they are looking at rolling out this again, to people in the UK. I honestly can't believe it. I'm not going to put too much focus on there, but I'm sure it's going to be affecting lots of people in the UK that are watching this. I've no idea really what's happening in the rest of the world on that. But isn't it amazing, despite the fact of all this information going out, the madness still continues. And I think it will continue until enough people stand up and say, no, absolutely not. And, you know, the only thing that keeps these things going is our mass compliance. Again, it's really hard when I'm saying that on here, because I know anyone watching my channel doesn't fit into that category, but I'm sure you've all got loved ones that do. So again, how can we take our next level of creativity up? One of the best examples to me is when we're as healthy, vibrant, happy, at peace, contributing to society, to our communities, to the wildlife, to, you know, getting on and doing these things that are really inspirational for us and for others. That's, for me, the best way that we can be an example to others, because there's no point sitting from preaching from our armchairs. We've got to actually show people there's a different way of doing things. Let me know what you think about that. You know, no one wants to be told what to do, but when people start looking up and thinking, well, I quite like what that person's doing, or they seem really up for it, or they seem really not to be affected by all this. A lot of people are having a tough time financially at the moment. So, but then they can also be a lot of resistance to new way of doing things. A lot of people know that I work with some brilliant health products like the Asea, like the Lifewave, like the Ascent, like the Roots products. I've been a holistic therapist for years, and I'm constantly looking at ways that we can really, really help ourselves physically, emotionally, and spiritually. It's all about that balance. And if there's these great tools out there, then use them if they resonate with you. You know, come on, let's make life easy for ourselves, and let's support companies that are actually trying to make us thrive rather than trying to kill us all off. Which, quite frankly, there's enough of those doing that. We don't need to be supporting those with our hard-earned cash. But if you are one of those people that's suffering financially, you know, perhaps look at where your resistance lies to that. Are you really open to trying new things? Because the whole point is, any aspects of our lives that we're unhappy with, if we're going to be resistant to trying something new, we're going to stay like that. So, you know, the great thing is there's lots and lots of people out there offering help, offering advice, showing inspiration ways to do things. And I would challenge each and every one of us to sort of pick one aspect of our life. Everyone will have something, and say, right, what do I want to upgrade? What do I want to do differently? Am I really going to be prepared to stop making little incremental steps and sort of throw it wide open to the universe and try something completely different, and be opening to receive what comes back to me? Again, I'd be really fascinated on your thoughts on that. But I've just had the most lovely, lovely time working with the people in these companies, in the team, with the people that have, you know, now formed part of our collective team. You know, there's a lot of people that I've met through these companies, like through the Asea, through the Lifewave, through the Roots, etc., that are just so inspirational, and everyone's helping each other out, and it's just a beautiful way of moving forward. I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. And, you know, there might be naysayers out there, but don't mock what you don't understand. That brings me on to my next thing. This mocking and resistance, it's always about us. If you're sort of reacting in a negative way to someone else's success, in whatever way that might look to, then that's a sure sign that there's something in there that's a trigger for you. That's basically, I hate that word trigger, I really do hate it actually, because it can be so misused, but there's something in there where there's a resistance to you to trying something new. And we've all got them. Oh my goodness, I've still got loads, trust me. But I know enough now to know that if I've got something like that coming up when someone else is trying something new, and I might go into judgment mode on it, that's because there's something in there where I need to explore doing something differently in my life. And I am not participating. I haven't been employed for years and years, and I would never, ever go back to being employed. I love being able to go with the flow and see where my passions take me. And I've created that life for myself, and I'm delighted to see my children sort of joining in that, because it's just a different level of freedom that you will, quite frankly, never experience if you're in an employed situation. It's not for everyone. You know, you do have to be quite self-motivated, but for me, it allows me to follow my passions and follow new ideas and really go with where my heart is telling me to go at that moment, rather than feel that I'm stuck in something that is no longer serving me, because we all change all the time. So I would again say, what is that area of our lives? We've all got one where we feel stagnant. And if we do feel stagnant, how about trying something completely different and seeing what opens up for you? Because good old saying goes, if you keep doing the same thing, you're going to keep getting the same results. I don't think many of us want the same results anymore. You know, we talk about creating the new world, we talk about the age of Aquarius, but that has to come from us. If we're all in this holographic universe and we're all creating it, you know, we know about the double split experiment, and when you look at an atom, it will go from a waveform to a particle form based on our intention. But it's so much deeper than even that. When you start looking at the new areas of quantum physics coming out, that's just so basic now compared to what they're discovering. So it's exciting. It means that the world is our oyster. It means we can create, and the more of us that do it, the more we get that resonance, just and the snowball effect, and it's just going to get quicker and quicker and quicker, moving into what we want. So I've got some lovely guests coming up this week, over the next few weeks. I'm having probably a little bit of a quieter time because the people that I'm speaking to are, you know, I'm really preparing really well for those. And also I am back with my friend Timo, creating some amazing new courses for the animal health side of things, and therefore what that can teach us humans as well. Because when we're doing things to improve our animals' health, there's always a knock-on effect on our own. So there's a lot of stuff that I'm doing in the background that there'll be a little bit of delay before you see it coming into fruition. My next episodes of the book club will be up this week, and I've already got 3 or 4 books that I want to do next. I'm feeling really good about things at the moment. I am feeling really, really good about things. I'm excited about learning new skills myself, really looking forward to this gardening course. I'm really excited. I'm the type of person, I like learning with other people. So this sort of thing suits me really, really well. I have got loads of books, but I'm not the type of person that really wants to sit there on my own and do it from a book. Some things I do, but I'm more of a visual and do it learner, and I love sort of bouncing ideas off other people. So I'll put the link below to the Zach Bush Farmer's Footprint Gardeners Club course, in case you can do it from all over the world, in case anyone else wants to join us on that. I'm also doing the Jackie White. If any of you didn't watch a few weeks ago, the Hooponopono video, it's under the live section on YouTube. So YouTube's a little bit awkward now because you've got the previous videos and then there's a live tab, and you have to sort of hit that live tab to access the past live streams. And they're the one I did with Jackie White on the Hooponopono, but it's a really, really great chat with Jackie. She's really, really experienced in so many beautiful areas, and I think a lot of people have found that helpful, and it's something that we can use with ourselves, with our children, with our animals, etc. And the details below that video, you can connect with Jackie, because she has got coming up very soon a Hooponopono online course, really reasonable, and it's going to be amazing. Again, I'm doing that because I love refreshing all my knowledge and interacting with new people on these. So I'm absorbing it all. I'm jumping into the things that I'm passionate about. Going to be providing a lot more courses for those that want to do more as well, because it's so hard for me to do so much on a one-to-one basis. I have been out working with a lot of horses in person over the last few weeks as well. So that's very rewarding, but very time consuming as well. So I really hope you're going to love the guests coming up. There is still the usual shadow banning on YouTube. It's so frustrating how many people keep telling me they've been unsubscribed, saying, oh, wow, Catherine, I didn't know you were still doing videos. I haven't seen one of yours for months, even though I'm subscribed. I'm not getting the notifications. So if that's you, please do check in every week. You know, the guests I come to are things that I'm really passionate about. So I really hope you enjoy that. Keep a lookout on my community tab, because I've been a guest on quite a few other people's podcasts, and I love that because everyone brings a different perspective. So you'll find some really uplifting chats on there. My Instagram, if you love my animals and you love the health tips, please go to my Instagram. Again, all the links are in the comments box, the description box below. because I love nothing more than putting the stuff on all my animals on Instagram. I've got my 2 Telegram channels. The Catherine Edward Life is more general current events, what's happening, different opinions, great videos to watch. The Catherine Edwards Life and Health and Asea is all health related for you and your animals. So you're not going to get any of the truther type stuff on there. You're going to get really proactive health advice, and you can use that and share that wherever you wish. For those of you that are in the Asea, please do check out and connect in, because we're doing a new daily call to really help people with that. And we're going to have some lovely sort of Wellness Wednesday things coming up as well, which I think is really important for everyone that really wants to take their physical or emotional health up to the next level. And like anything, take what resonates with you. Every single person watching it will have different interests at the moment, and that will change for you over time. So, just take the bits that resonate and leave the rest. Or check out the shorts on YouTube as well, because there's some good sort of little tips and animal ones on there as well. But again, you actually have to click on the shorts tab to see those as well. If you want to connect in and suggest guests, my email address is below. It's much easier if people email me on things like that rather than leave a comment below a video. The comments below the videos are really great, and I do always check them all. But if it's suggesting a guest or something, please do email me on my catherineedwardslife17@gmail.com. Because all the contact details about how you get hold of me or Jay, if it's to do with the Asea, below, because it's really important people reach out to get the right information for them. I love suggestions of guests, so keep those coming. And those of us that are moving into spring, enjoy the spring. Those of you that are moving into autumn or whatever the seasons are doing for you, relish and enjoy the lessons for that too. And thank you so much for anyone that watches my videos, for anyone that takes the time to comment, hit that like button, share it with your friends. I can't tell you how much it means, because I am really passionate about this community. I really am. And perhaps I don't often say that enough. I don't know whether you like these channel updates. Let me know if you like these channel updates, because I'd love to do more, but I don't want to bore you either. But I love sharing all the things that are going through my head. You can see how much it's changing over time. Hopefully you can see the evolution. I love to hear what's on your mind, and more importantly, what's on your hearts. So have an amazing Easter. Go looking for those Easter bunnies. Be nice to them. Don't eat them. And onwards and upwards, everyone. Take care. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen. And if you feel inspired, please do share with your friends and family. My goal is to inspire as many people as I can to live their best lives, to stay curious, and to raise their consciousness and that of the collective. So to do this, I need to reach as many people as possible, and this needs your help. If you feel drawn, would you be willing to share your favourite episode with 5 different people? This helps us spread the word, and also helps me encourage some exciting new guests to take part in this podcast. If you feel drawn to do that, I will be very grateful. All the links and discount codes where applicable for all the products that I support are on my 2 websites, catherineedwards.life and catherineedwardsacademy.com. All of the products are personally tried and tested by me, my family, and my clients. And finally, please do press the follow or subscribe button, depending which platform you're listening on. And above all, stay curious and stay free.